for instance, NFT buy now button. Of course, we want to support that. This is a huge change, which brings DeSo NFTs up to par with other crypto blockchain NFTs. So.
All right, and welcome Martijn Van Halen to Who's Got Clout, episode 2 in season 3, my friend. It is a pleasure to finally meet you because I've seen a lot of the work you've been doing, big fan of NFTz, and yeah, so I'm really excited about getting to know you better. So first of all, welcome. How are you doing today?
Oh, well, thanks. It's my second interview for DeSo. The first one was with the Krassensteins, and it's awesome to be on your show. I watched it a couple of times, and great to meet you, Mark.
Absolutely. And big shout out to the Krassensteins as well. They've been amazing for really introducing so many. And I saw, I think, was it 300 days they finished just the other day they were celebrating, which is yesterday, was it? Yeah. That's pretty impressive. 300 days. It's one of those things in the world we're in these days to be that committed every day. It's fantastic. It's
a lifetime in crypto.
It shows. I mean, that's one of the things I've loved, right? With the people we get to meet and connect with through DeSo and through all the other blockchain initiatives that are going on. There's a real kind of almost renaissance of passion and devotion, that we're seeing where people are really going out of their way. So Martijn, let's start. First of all, where in the world are you?
Well, I'm in the south of Spain, but I am Dutch, so born and raised in the Netherlands. But nice. After some while, I wanted a little bit hotter weather or better weather. How you can in the Netherlands it rains a lot, so I moved to Spain with my family, and right now I'm in Almeria, which is very south in Spain. It's 2 hours from Malaga, 3 hours from Alicante.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. So what's the weather like down there at the moment? It'll be still getting cooler, is it? Or?
Yeah, it is winter, but it's like 15 degrees or something Celsius. So it's still very nice, especially during the day when the sun shines. You can sometimes go with a thin jacket. So it's not really winter here. We never see the snow. So it's good. It's good.
Sounds very similar to the weather here I'm in Perth, Western Australia, and it's about, today I was just out and about in the car and it was 40 degrees Celsius. So for the Americans, it's over 100 anyway, in Fahrenheit, something up there.
Nice.
But so it's a different lifestyle to, like you say, Amsterdam. I remember popping in there and of course I just made it to Amsterdam and get to see the touristy stuff in the center, but the people, the place, it was very unique. So magic.
Yeah, I lived there for years. In Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So it's indeed very different.
Nice. And is it like my first impression when I came to Amsterdam is, and I was there with an old police officer friend of mine. I talked him into it. I was living in Norway and we said, and he thought, well, I'm on holiday. So I got him to go to Amsterdam and misbehave. And one of the things I loved seeing was just, it felt like it was a very outside of the boxes kind of place. Like that's what it seemed like as a tourist going there. The buildings were almost leaning in on those beautiful streets, that go around as if
the canals,
around the canals. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it like that in Amsterdam? Is it quite open-minded and in the way it expresses itself?
Yeah, I think so. It has changed a lot. I have moved out from the Netherlands like 11 years ago. So around that time, it was still pretty open-minded. It's not the city it used to be, I must say, which was like you could go out and until 6 in the morning and then get some snacks. And last time I was there, I tried to find some snack at 2 o'clock in the morning and there was just nothing open. I was like, okay, what happened to my Amsterdam? What's this? This is not good. So it changed, but it's very open-minded. It's a cool place. But when you get kids, you get different needs and need a bigger
Absolutely, mate.
house, and you know how that goes.
Yes, indeed, indeed. So you were just mentioning before we jumped on and hit the record button, you were saying you had 3 children. Is that correct?
Yeah, 3 children. Yeah,
Nice.
my oldest is 14, a girl of 12, and then another boy who is 9. So yeah, 3 kids. I always say it's good for pension. When I grow old, I have somebody to take care of me. At least I hope.
I think we lost you there for a second, but you said at least
Yeah, it
you
was
hope.
a small. Yeah, I hope they will take care of me. So
Yeah,
that is the idea.
absolutely right. No, beautiful. My boy Felix is just turned 12 as well. So at least if we do get to catch up one day in the future, then our kids will have fun.
No problem. Yeah, you're
Nice.
welcome.
So jumping into, I mean, really while we're here, I mean, one of the things here at Clout Forum that we love exploring with Who's Got Clout is, really looking at both sides of, creators and how they're using the new blockchain technology to really empower, their creativity and able to monetize that in a way that we can get paid to do what we love, right? And the other side is looking at the developers, looking at the innovators and how we're inventing new ways of using the technology. And obviously, the first thing that stands out with you, Martin, that I'm a massive fan of is Nftz. Your NFT platform that you've done together with the Krassensteins, I believe.
Yeah, actually, before NFTz, there was Check BitClout. So I was in a Discord server, the Pulse Discord server, where all the DeSo stuff was before the new DeSo Discord server. And the Krassensteins, they were asking, hey, can somebody make some tool to get an alert when somebody lowers their founder rewards, the percentage, so that we can get an alert and we know when to invest. And I said, well, I can do such a thing. So after a few days, I had something running, and that converted in our first project together, which was Check BitClout. And we started adding more features, and then NFTs came along. And well, we did some NFT stuff with Check BitClout, but soon discovered I think we need something separate for that. Mm-hmm. And then we started thinking about a new NFT platform. In the meantime, my brothers, Bas and Wouter, or NFT Van Halen and Mucho Sats, also joined DeSo. And they were like really enthusiastic also. And so the Krassenstein said, okay, let's do this NFT marketplace, and let's do it all together. And yeah, from there it went really fast, and we created the platform. During the launch, it was a very hectic time, also because we wanted to have it ready before the Octane funding and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's how it came to be.
Nice. It's always interesting hearing the backstories, because people can be so on the other end. A lot of people have just been consumers for so long, right? So just used to seeing a product come out, and if it's not perfect, they're very quick to customer is always right, throw criticisms and things. And so I'm a big advocate for really exploring and making sure people get to understand what goes into behind it, because like you say, getting these things up and going, it's a bit of work, right? A bit of work pulling it together.
It's a bit of work, and certainly in the first months, you have to put in your money yourself. So when I first joined DeSo, I was really like amazed about the possibilities, but also the community itself. It was so welcoming, such a nice people, a lot of good, positive responses. So I really felt at home really fast. And so because there was a lot of stuff going on, people investing in others, those were the busy times, like April, May. It was different than how it is now. So Creator Coin was really, really important because we didn't have NFTs yet. The Wild West, well, it's still a little bit Wild West, but that was the early days. And so I really thought, wow, I got to do something with this. This is huge. So it had a big impact. So and coming from a no-code apps development area and payments area in my past, I saw a lot of options with the DeSo blockchain, and started working first on my own client, and then came the questions from Krassenstein. So check BitClout. In the meantime, I also invest small amounts in other people and buy some NFTs. I'm not an NFT creator in that kind. I do posts, but not like really long posts like Sandy Rose or something. I'm more, I'm there, I'm active. I try to engage positive, but lately I'm very focused on the development. Last few weeks been a little bit more difficult. I also had COVID and fully recovered almost. So it was not so active as I normally do.
Yeah, absolutely understandable. And I know it's tough as an entrepreneur and an innovator. It's pretty hard to slow down, even with something like COVID on your tail, right? It's like, but I need to keep going. So, but I know that it's a really hot topic right now, like around the world, where we're seeing a changing conversation around COVID. So not to go too far from the blockchain tech creators and all the rest, but in a way, we're all being affected by that. Creativity is, I think the very success and booming of things like DeSo, blockchain, VR, etc., NFTs, I think has been fueled a lot by, the COVID conditions, lockdowns, isolation. It really has
working from home.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So for those that are out there, what's the experience with having COVID? Like, I'm from Perth, Western Australia, which, if you haven't heard, we have a complete lockdown, still have very little ever have stepped into our state. Yet, of course, that means that no one's got any kind of natural immunity, etc. And they were supposed to open our borders on the 5th of February to the rest of the world. And just today, this morning, we got news that they've cancelled that and pushed it forwards again. So here in WA, I can tell you that people are curious. It's like, what is it actually like out there? Because it's a bit hard to tell with the media these days. So what was it like for you?
Yeah, for me, first of all, I had the Omicron variant. So my symptoms like coughing, headaches. In the early days, the first days, your body feels really heavy. You have muscle aches. You feel really tired also. You just don't feel right. Everything feels heavy. Your eyes, your head. So the first few days are the hardest. Those disappear after 2 or 3, 4 days, and then the headaches they stayed longer with me, and then the coughing started, sore throat. The sore throat lasted for at least a week. I did contact the doctor for some meds, and I got some meds for the coughing, and those help. But it's really like a flu, an intense flu, a flu that takes a little bit longer. I did have the vaccine, so maybe it was a little bit less intense because of that. But Omicron by itself is, it's like a flu. Here in Spain, the government is also thinking of treating it like the flu. They don't have really another choice, because if you have hundreds of thousands of people infected, what are you gonna do? It's like so contagious. It's just no stopping. We are using masks here. Everybody is vaccinated. If you want to go to a restaurant, you need to show the COVID passport, but it just doesn't stop Omicron. And I think in Australia and the whole world will follow. It's not really stoppable. The good news is that it's not so deadly as the Delta stuff, which came before. And but Australia went really far with their lockdowns, and I saw some videos about people in camps because of how do you say it, to be confined, if you were
isolation,
confined
or solid
isolation.
Internment camps, as they're called
stuff.
lovingly.
Pretty heavy stuff. But
I tell you what, Martin, that's what happens when you have a land full of convicts left to their own for a couple hundred years. That's how we were brought up a couple hundred years ago.
Many people want to migrate to Australia. I also have, before I went to Spain, I also thought, wow, Australia looks pretty good as well, especially as a IT person. But yeah, if you have all your family in Europe and then go to Australia, and the time difference, also traveling becomes a lot more difficult. So I chose the only desert region here in Europe, which was the south of Spain, the most sunny days, less rain. So was the best I could get here in Europe. So
I think you definitely nailed it. Like as far as it goes in Europe, you got pretty close to what we got down here. No, that's awesome. Beautiful. So yeah, 100%. So we're moving into times where there's so much change. And I think this is important for people to remember as well when it comes to tech, when it comes to innovations and blockchain, all this kind of stuff we're excited about. We're doing it in very challenging times. So everything we're achieving, you know, it's very easy to judge it by how things used to be. And it's like, come on, let's give everyone a break and let them get the product out. So I want to talk a little bit Nftz, because I have to say, of all the different things, and by the way, anyone who's watching this who is not familiar with DeSo, you know, it's a decentralized social blockchain. You can see the logo over there on Martin's jumper. It's Clout was the original kind of app that was launched on top of it. As you can see, we love the thing because it's, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's what's empowering the creator economy to take those next steps. And one of the things that was a game changer for me in seeing how we can make that happen was when I began using Nftz, because we've got other apps, etc., on DeSo that do NFTs, but there was something about the way you've designed Nftz that just felt like you cared about the user. You were thinking about what does the user want from this, and you really were listening. So, you know, where did the idea come from? How did you create it in a way? Was that a team effort? Were you getting feedback from the community? What was the process?
Yeah, the start ideas of focusing on NFTs and the idea of NFT marketplace came from the Constantine twins. They have way more experience in crypto and blockchains than me. Maybe not on a technical level, but in a general level, they're way more knowledgeable on that front as me. So they came up with the ideas, and then I dived into it. And coming from a web app space and thinking about the creator, we really wanted to make the creator shine. We did this in our first version, and in 2 weeks, the second version is coming out. Again, as a beta, because it's total rewrite. And we even want to make the creator shine more. So we create the concept of these zones, like username.nftz.zone. And I think that was part of our success. People started sharing those in Clubhouse, on their bios, on their profiles. And this is an important part. And we also made it possible that they could customize it. So you could change which NFTs you would like to show on the front page. You could make like galleries or collections. In the new version, they will be called galleries, but now they're still called collections. So people could create their own gallery with the NFTs they thought important, or group them by for sale or for a special collection or my best NFTs. And that is still very successful. We see also quite a lot of traffic on Nftz. Really happy about that. Also, it also helps, of course, working with the twins. They have a big social outreach, and my brothers right now as well. We're always online, connecting with the community, being out there, being there for the creators. We talk a lot with the creators. We have these groups on Discord and Telegram, so get direct feedback. Try to implement that in our version if feasible and possible. And we think if the creators are successful, we will be successful as well. So although money-wise, of course, it's still very hard. The market is small. We're really early. DeSo is still small. It's still growing. But we feel that if we can make the creators successful, help them sell their NFTs better or get better exposure, we did a good job. And that is what we're here for. And I think the DeSo core team also recognized that, and that's why we got the Octane funding. We talked with Nader and we talked with Alex, and amazing. Both are really people, if they make a promise and say they do something, they do it. My respect. This is not always the case. So it went from, we launched, I think, in October or September or something like that. And then from being funded and amazing in months. That is So DeSo basically changed my life, and also my brothers. My other youngest brother, he just quit his job. He quit his job,
right.
and
Fantastic.
he's going to focus full time. Yeah, I was doing it part time, like in the weekends, in the nights. But now from January, I can focus a lot more time on DeSo and my other ventures. I work a little bit less on that. I also announced that. So iGenapps is the other company I'm part of, which is mobile apps generation. So no-code tools for apps. So you download an app to create your own app. And that skill set I'm also using for NFTz. So we're going to do a lot more stuff with apps. We have a whole more than 100 points sheet with plans and ideas. So yeah,
can only imagine.
Plenty to do. I'm glad we're funded because we need the time, we need the focus. And but it's been amazing, life changing for me, DeSo, and for my brothers as well. And my other brother is right now in negotiation of leaving, but that is still going on. So,
wow. Yeah, you're right. Make sure he gets the word to them first before we do. I think you're safe.
No, he already announced it. He wants to go. So
nice. I got to say, the family name Van Halen. I mean, that name is. I mean, you're set for success already, Martin. I mean, just with your family name. Wow. People say that about mine, Bentley. You know, the Bentley car, etc.
Yeah.
Now we got to live up to it. I think you boys are doing it.
Yeah, I remember the first time I went to the United States, and then how do you say it? During the passport control, hey, Van Halen, and you get all these positive reactions. My grandmother thought it was far related family because the Van Halens are from the Netherlands also, and there is not many Van Halens, so it might be far related family. I never profited from any, never seen $1 from it, so it must be very far family. But it's possible. My grandma thought so. It was some kind of nephew, blah, 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 very few layers behind. But still, it helps sometimes.
Right. And I think when you got, like you say, you and your brothers already like NFT rock stars, you know, the DeSo blockchain rock stars already out there getting it started. So it might just be in your blood, my friend. Now,
thanks.
So, with what you shared, it makes sense as you're explaining Nftz. So by the way, anyone who's into NFTs, you know, it doesn't matter what platform you're using, whether you're into Solana, Ethereum, or wherever you like to play, please do go check out Nftz.Zone. So Nftz.Zone, because there you can go check it out. Set yourself up a DeSo account so you can start playing around with it, because like you said, Martin, one of the things that I loved was the ability to be able to actually create those zones. Like when I saw that, because my frustration with DeSo up until that point was I had all these NFTs, but there was a lot of like generic ones and fun ones and just bits and pieces that was just, you know, almost like, you know, it was getting a bit cluttered. And then you had these investments, you know, real NFTs you put real money into. And when I saw the zones, it felt so good to be able to have, what is it? markbentley.nftz.zone / you know, Sacred Skulls.
My awesome collection. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Whatever you like to call it. Now that becomes a link that fits in anywhere. Instagram, Twitter, you can chuck it anywhere you like on your business cards. And no one needs to know what blockchain it's on or whatever it is. They can just go check it out. And so I think you guys really nailed something that's going to help with that onboarding of people coming into that. So outside of this ecosystem with DeSo, please do check it out and see what's possible, because it's amazing.
Yeah, about the onboarding, we certainly have plans. We didn't start on that right now to like have real landing pages, maybe doing ads, trying to convert outside DeSo users into DeSo users, because right now we use DeSo identity.
Yeah.
But DeSo identity works fine, but we're even considering running our own identity service based on the DeSo identity, just to customize it more to get a better flow for creators from other people. But that is all future stuff. I say always step by step. So step by step. Rome wasn't built in a day. NFTz either, DeSo either. Nader and his core team are still working hard every week, as you can see, launching new features. And it's hard. It's hard to create and extend, and especially if you already have a platform and you want to extend, so it becomes harder and harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it grows bigger.
Absolutely. So, Mom, before we go, I'd love to ask you about what's coming with NFTs, but before we jump on that, just because you've touched on something that I think is so vitally important when it comes to DeSo and the community and growing from here. Again, it's one of those things I've mentioned already a couple of times in our chat is, how people can be so, the customer is always right kind of attitude that in the early stages of innovation can get in the way and make it quite hard and turbulent. So you've been on the inside, you've worked with the core team, you've met with Nader and the crews, from your genuine feelings of what's in there, you've already shared a bit about it, but, do you feel this team is doing the best they can and they're equipped to make this a success from what you've seen? And how best do you think the community can be supportive? Because one thing is to give feedback, but also sometimes it's it can slow things down as well. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the core team is very capable. So everything they announce, they make happen sooner or later. Of course, there's always obstacles, like the Coinbase listing. It can take a longer time than you expected. And then during a Coinbase listing, you need to do a code freeze because it's so huge, and they also have demands and they want to reduce risks. I think the core team is very capable. I have not met with the developers personally, but with Nader and Alex and more about the core community people. But they are very capable from my perspective. I think they have a really high release rhythm, maybe sometimes too fast, then slow down a little bit. It'd be good to provide to prevent issues on other nodes like crashes and failures. On the other side, we have the community, which is really, I think the community is really demanding, unrealistic sometimes, because it's very hard to build, and sometimes the community just need to give them space. Of course, you can give feedback, but there's feedback and being unrealistic, and I want it now and it should happen like this. So Nader is a few steps ahead of everybody in his head, in his vision for the roadmap. And many times when they announce something, it's, oh wow, yeah, that is cool. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think about that, or I forgot about. So, and first when he started BitClout, everybody was focused on the app, and everybody was focused on this front end UI. And then they decided, okay, we don't want to focus on this front end. We want to focus on the blockchain. So they made the deal with Sordon and Diamond App. So you're gonna do the new front end. You're gonna develop that. We're gonna help you, of course, but our focus will be the blockchain and the features. And I think that was a very wise decision. So I have very high respect for Nader, his decisions on that spot. It is very hard to grow with users and grow with features at the same time. The good thing is that DeSo has users. Yes, there are issues in attracting new users and daily active users, of course, needs to grow. Nader has been betting a lot on other developers and other nodes to do that, but doesn't always work like that because they need time, like we in the NFTz also need time to grow at that point where you say, okay, we're going to focus on the landing pages now and attract new users, because first we say we want to have a base, it should be fine, it should be tested, and then we attract new users. That's like a couple of months ramp up. So but it's good to create new features, but on the other side, I think they should also grow a little bit more and have a team focusing on onboarding new users. The community team is growing a lot. I think they're doing a great job. First, you could not reach the core team. Communication lines were pretty bad. That has improved drastically. like Alex and Megan Vita and Dylan, they're really approachable. They're in Discord, and also the core developers are now in Discord, a lot more responsive than before. But developers communicate more via GitHub and that kind of stuff if there's real issues. And normally they follow up pretty good and fast. So I see them doing a good job, and the community sometimes just needs to, okay, come with ideas, help, but don't be unrealistic. It's very hard. If you see the Solana timeline, it was the first 2 years was really slow, and then it started growing. And we're not even 1 year old. I think in March, DeSo is 1 year or something. March, April.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's so little time.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point about Solana. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. These are important things to contemplate, right? It's like birth takes time. I mean, humans take 9 months just to get out of the oven, and then we got another 21 years to get ready for the world. So I think DeSo might need a year or so.
DeSo is just starting to walk.
Yeah, right.
They're getting ready to run.
And I got to say, absolutely, Martin, I think you're bang on with so much of that, with all of that. And with one of the things I want to reaffirm as well is I've seen lots of things around the world in my time, and I've never seen someone so devoted to following through on their word. When it comes to DeSo, there's a lot of promises out there, but they have blown my mind. And usually you expect to wait longer every single time. Multiple times they've surprised us and done things faster than we thought. So it is exciting time where we're going with all of this. And I'm super excited to see all the new changes in DeSo, the blockchain. So the last thing from me before I hand you over to Alex to get some questions for you is, what are the most exciting things about Nftz, the new, because you're saying it's a complete rebuild, is it? It's not just a few changes, or you want to tell us about the new one that's coming up?
We're using the same UI framework, which is Svelte, which is it's a really a framework based on JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, which tries to reduce the output. So it's really small files, small downloads, fast, interactive, reactive. And I love it. It's great. And the first version of NFTz was a single page application. So one download, one big JavaScript file, and that did everything. So it's like a single page app. That is very nice. It's very fast and fluid and responsive. But as you grow bigger with more features, it's not the best way to go. So right now we're changing to Svelte Kit, which is actually a responsive framework based with server-side rendering, hydrating, which makes it a lot easier to add new features without making the site slower. With the SPA, it was like, add something new, but the JavaScript file grows big. And this is, I think, part of our success is that we have a smaller footprint than Diamond App or BitCloud, which you have 1 megabyte JavaScript file. This is an issue in certain countries, especially in Brazil, in certain countries in Asia. Download size matters. You need to reduce that, and this is what we do with the new rebuild. We make it sure it stays fast. It stays a small download, because where are the next users coming from? Well, as you can see with Tunnel, they're coming also from Latin America, where not all countries have really fast internet speeds, or from Asia, where it can be very different. Russia, Ukraine, all those countries normally have decent internet, but it depends on where you are in the country, and it should also be fast on the go, on your mobile. So we're really focusing on that. And the new rebrand gives the creator more options. We're talking about setting backgrounds, doing even more customizations, setting an app icon. We're also working on that, so that it will be possible to add your zone, use it as a web app. Those kind of things we're working on, and after that, a lot more features will be coming. We also want to do like scheduled posts and like more automations for the NFT notifications. Of course, we already built the notification part with Check BitCloud, but now we need to also integrate it for NFTz, release our own app to have push notifications, probably also do push notifications via desktop browser. So there's a lot of stuff coming there. More feed and post options, also making NFTz more social, because social is of course the power of DeSo, and we can also be social and an NFT marketplace, which is one of the advantages. So this is where we're going to. But basically, we're setting a baseline for future growth to be able to add new features without making everything slower or unmanageable. So that is what we're
awesome.
going for.
That's really exciting. That's really exciting. And can we expect at some point a dedicated mobile app to be able to access NFTz?
Certainly. Yeah, certainly. This is awesome. This was already the plan, but sometimes the focus changes. Sometimes Nader announces something. Oh, we got to change the focus because we want to support, for instance, NFT buy now. But of course, we want to support that. This is a huge change, which brings DeSo NFTs up to par with other crypto blockchain NFTs. So as
fantastic
stuff like it sometimes changes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, it's that difference between the consumer that just goes, yeah, but I want the mobile app. I just want, and it's like, I get it. We got to build everything to support the mobile app, and that takes time. So now that's fantastic, Martin. I really appreciate you coming on today and sharing all this. It's, I think NFTs, as much as, some people love them, some people hate hearing all about them, yada, yada, yada. But as far like one thing that has become so apparent to me in the last, 10 months on DeSo is really recognizing that NFTs are one of those things. Like, we were joking around with, Sacred Skulls. We were talking about with Bobby Digital, talking, saying how it's like, the internet
awesome
began
series.
with, it's amazing what he's done. And, he's talking about, everything in the internet. It began with like death and sex. It was like the gritty, raw stuff was what brought energy to the platform to begin the process, right? And it's almost like NFTs are that kind of, the NFT degen kind of, attitude that's almost like a similar kind of feeling of like, hang on, before you bag it out, remember, this is actually bringing a lot of creativity. It's giving us a lot of early energy to work with and play with, and the creativity that's coming out of this. I've become a big fan of NFTs since hitting DeSo, that's for sure.
Gives a lot of people also opportunity to do something from home and have an extra earning. You already see with Twitter right now. Twitter's gonna support like to have an NFT as profile image. But I also read a message that from Pompliano, the crypto guy, the big crypto guy. He said that Instagram and Facebook are also working to support NFTs, sell, buy. So Coinbase is working on it. NFTs are here to stay because the market has seen its value. All the big crypto markets dived in it. Like crypto is here to stay. NFT is one of those side products. They go hand in hand. And I think it's great. Many people will get, hopefully in the future, like me, be able to focus on DeSo for their earnings and get another lifestyle change, which hopefully makes them more happy.
Absolutely. And Martin, I think you brought in a good point here. For anyone watching this that is outside of the DeSo decentralized social blockchain ecosystem, if you're a developer or you're an innovator, you've got good ideas, then you've just heard from Martin right here, who's been funded with the Octane Fund. That was, what is it, $50 million US fund for developing, to be spread amongst the developers, not just
and they just did like 11 million in total. So there is some money left, and beside that there will be the DAO stuff for funding. So
lots of different ways. Yeah. So we've got a success story right here for everyone watching. Like, please, if you're a developer and you're out there looking for a home, you're out in Solana, Ethereum, whatever it is, trying to find, you've seen what Martin's done. They've got a team together. Go check out Nftz.Zone and definitely come and join in the community, join the Discords, have a chat and start innovating, because this is one of the things you've already said, Martin. When the customer wins, so do you. When that's what I love with decentralized, these blockchains and everything we're creating. In this world, we all win together as opposed to compete with each other. So the more apps we get, the more everyone wins. So, all right, beautiful. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to hand you over to Alex, and then I'll throw a few last words before we close at the end.
Okay.
You ready, Alex?
Thanks.
Yes, thank you, Mark, very much. Martin, first of all, I'd like to say that I have a lot of questions for you, because you're a person with huge experience in different areas in professional and personal life. So I can't help to seize the opportunity to get some insights from you. And to begin with, I'd like to touch upon your professional experience, and just wanted you to share with us some of your experience and your thoughts on how things are done. So the first question for me, are you a strict person?
Am I what?
Strict person.
Strict. Yes, I think so. I have been working from home now for many years, like 8 years. And when you work at home, waking up, do your thing is already the first step. Sit behind that computer, work almost every day, I must say. So in that, I have a good self-discipline. I try to set goals with the team or for myself and try to follow them. I don't always make it, and that makes me a bit frustrated sometimes, which is a bad habit from me, I must say. Sometimes I cannot let go. Like we say, okay, stop now, Martijn, stop. You have a family, enjoy them too. So, but yeah, I guess for work, I'm pretty strict.
Yeah, and are you strict towards your staff, towards your partners in the project?
I'm more strict on myself than with others. I always try to influence my partners positive, but I don't expect them to have exactly the same drive. Although the Octane twins are very driven. With my brothers, I'm way more relaxed. But they're also not working full time yet. They're just starting, so it might change. But
yeah, thank you so much for sharing it. And now we'll know the truth after you answering my following questions. So, do you believe in punishment and management, penalties, fines?
No.
And do you think it's necessary to do it sometimes?
Punishments. I'd rather use a more positive example, like let's get this done, and then we can do this, or add a bonus to it instead of something negative. And I think that is the best way to move forward. Because if you go with negative energy, and I just don't like it.
Thank you so much. So my next question is about the other side of the punishment, about motivation. So do you have any view on should the head of the company motivate the staff, or it's unnecessary because they're getting paid anyway?
Yeah, I think it's important. I really like the dynamics we have in the company right now. We're basically all equals. And we are working really together on it. There's not like one boss who says, do this, do this. It's more like we set ourselves together a goal. Hey, we want to do this. We want to launch the new version in 2 weeks, and we're working together to do that. But in my other experiences of work, I sometimes more had this boss, or even if I was a co-founder, it was more like boss worker, and that doesn't always work. I'm not working on my best in such a situation. I work better if you're really creating something together.
So yeah, it's basically like two different concepts. One is when you are boss, you are managing people, and the other one you are creating an environment where people thrive. So you
equals working together. Yeah. I believe in a flat organization. Let's say it like that. Flat organization is all the way.
So this is about creating the right environment where you can thrive.
Yeah,
with your
creating the right conditions and motivate and stimulate.
And the last question about motivation. Do you have any tips and tricks to share with us?
Well, I'm really motivated also by community response. Just knowing that people are using your stuff, their positive responses really motivates me. So positive reactions from others, also from my co-founders. This is really what works. And usage is important. There's nothing more ugly than working on a project for months and then launching it and nobody is using it. That's just sad. That is sad. So knowing that we have NFTz, knowing that it's being used, this is just a huge motivational drive. Knowing that people depend on it, share those URLs and try to sell their stuff is for some people so important that they really make their earnings from selling NFTs. So that is what motivates me.
So let's jump into another section of my question. It's a little bit about Web3 and DeSo. When I was looking at your profile and just looking at information about you, and they said that you added the share post button to bitclout.com. When was it? How it happened?
Yeah, it was like that. Yeah. Yeah, with iDoNapps, we already were using like this native share API from the browser, which opens up a native application prompt from the browser, which way more share options, just like copy link. So when I saw that BitClout wasn't using that, and so I downloaded the GitHub stuff, the front end, needed to tweak a little bit, work with those node things. So I created this PR and edited the share button, and it was cool. So
when was it?
That was like May, June, July. I don't remember. I will need to check the PR. It was before Diamond, but Diamond also copied that code, so that was good.
Oh,
I had really simple line. It's not. It was just something other people did not think of. Sometimes being a developer is just knowing, hey, but you can also use that.
Yeah, this is a privilege of early adopters. When it's just the beginning of something, you can just add some little detail, and it's gonna be the history. You are basically in the history.
Recently, we had another thing like that. I was working with Nordion on a Spanish version of Diamond App, and then we started working with the Transloco plugin and using it based on that for translation of the website. And this I shared with DeSo Labs, which had this prize. And then from DeSo Labs, DeSocial World from Edo, they picked that up, and they're also using the Translogo plugin now. So that was very funny. It was just like, okay, I think this is a good solution. Created a small sample with it, and it's being picked up. So I didn't add the translations to it, but just a suggestion of using this and how to use it, and it's nice to see that it's been a bit nice.
Yeah, great, cool. Great story, by the way. This shows how the information can flows in this kind of community. I have another question for you. It's about broader topic than just DeSo, and I do believe this is where we should head in all together. We need to open our eyes, we need to open our gates and go to the Web3 community in general. And I saw recently Nftz.Zone is quite active on Twitter. So I have two questions about it. The first one, are you interacting with broader Web3 community?
Yes, not me directly, more my brothers and the Krassensteins. They are more active on the other platforms. So one of my brothers is also on Reddit. I am a little bit more on LinkedIn. Guess I'm the serious guy or something like that. And on Twitter is more my brother Wouter. He's really active in that. Also on TikTok and Instagram and all these socials. But we, as NFTz, we really want to attract users from external. So we also participate in these Twitter spaces about Web3. And the nasty thing is, most of the time we host a Twitter space from DeSo. It's full of DeSo people. We need to have more people from outside. But we certainly going to host more events. Also very active on Clubhouse, especially Kassensteins. They're Clubhouse masters. They're really successful there. My older brother created Naderhead, this NFT series, and together with the Kassensteins, they did the launch parties on Clubhouse, and very successful. But this is another front where we can attract more people from outside DeSo.
Kassensteins are doing, and I'm sure will be doing amazing job in attracting new users to DeSo for sure. They are just the gold, the diamonds of the DeSo, and I do believe that they are the most active peer, doing the most PR for DeSo right now in different platforms. And this is something incredible. And what you are saying, so you're partnering with Kassensteins in different projects like Nftz.Zone, like Naderhead,
Check BitClout.
Check BitClout, yeah. And this is just beautiful union that was formed on DeSo platform.
Yeah.
And the most important one, the most important thing is that it's very sustainable. So you are partnering like since June, and you're doing awesome things. And
we're doing more stuff together and not less. So that's good. We're actually.
I mean, this is a story for the books, you know.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Also, that my other brothers are now, so it's really a brotherly team. Like it's actually 5 brothers together doing NFTz, for instance. But what is cool right now, we're planning on the DeSo birthday, which I think it will be in Los Angeles. We might meet up for the first time all together. So
awesome. My last question about Web3: did you have any experience in Web3 before DeSo?
Well, not exactly Web3 as the social part, but with crypto and blockchains, I did. I actually, before I went to, before I went to Spain, I was working for blockchain.com. I was hired to create apps for Windows Mobile by Ben Reeves. And at that time, he gave me like 1 Bitcoin for testing. And that Bitcoin that was worth like, I don't know, $50 or something at that time. And then later, the Windows Mobile stuff never got off. And I still had that Bitcoin. And then when it reached $1,000, I sold it. But that was my first experience with crypto and blockchain. So that's like a long time ago. But not a lot of experience with all this new Ethereum stuff. And but we're getting there step by step, but focus on DeSo right now.
Let's jump to another section of my questions. It's all about you now. What's the one thing that you'd like to do the most in real life that you can't do now due to some objective reason?
Wow, COVID really restricts going out. One of the reasons I went to Spain is because it has a big social life, you know, the bars, eating outside, eating together with friends. This is something I really enjoy, like sharing some beers and like be social, be out there. And the cool thing about Spain is that it's also, even if you have children, you can still do all these things with your whole family and other families. This is very common. Well, in the Netherlands, it's not really common to do this with all your friends. You visit more at houses and stuff like that. So dining, going out, doing some drinks together. This is really what I like. And now with COVID and everything, it's a bit more harder. So
you are just reading my mind, because my next question is about the best restaurant within your area and what your family likes the most from it.
The best restaurant, La Consentida. This is a meat restaurant, nice meat. I'm not a vegetarian.
Okay, my next questions are going to be very short, but your answer might be longer if you want. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, or Jeff Bezos?
Elon Musk.
Newspaper or web news?
Web news.
Wine, vodka, or whiskey?
Wine.
Pizza or sushi?
Ooh. Well, I eat more pizza, but I like sushi also.
Spanish or Dutch?
Spanish.
And where do you see
Yes.
Nftz.Zone in 5 years?
Well, I guess nobody knows. I do think we are in the best time to start this business. There is a lot of attention also from investors. And of course, we hope it will be a success, because I think if we have a success, it will be a success for DeSo. We all might be millionaires. That would be awesome, right?
Absolutely. Is there any announcements in regards to Nftz.Zone? What people should expect in near future from the project?
Well, we're going to also have a featured section, events section we're going to do also. So, and we also want to have some features where you can do like present your NFTs better. Some things I don't want to say yet. And also we're going to reach out even more to the community, probably also host our own events, also trying to onboard more people, maybe dive more into the other communities to attract and convince people to join DeSo, or to find out why are they not joining DeSo yet? Do they know about DeSo? We're going to, because we are 5 persons already, we have some space to do all these things. This is, I think, one of our powers, that we can really do this community stuff. We can focus on multiple things at the same time. Well, I'll keep coding. They can onboard new users, which want even more features, that I need more coding. But at the end, I think we'll probably also hire more people. But right now we want to set a baseline, because if you don't have your house in order, hiring more contractors will lead to a mess. So, but if you have a good base, a good fundament, then you can hire more people and create something better.
Before my last question, I would like to stress that it seems the family is your castle, and it helps you a lot in every activity that you are doing right now. And I'd like to stress that it's just so awesome to see that you brought your brothers to DeSo and doing projects together. And shout out to your sons and shout out to your brothers, because you have 2 brothers, so there are 3 of you, and you have 3 sons. So you are keeping the bar that your parents has set.
Yeah,
and that's incredible.
2 sons, 1 girl. But one of my brothers, Wouter, he is into risk management and stuff. He was pretty hard to convince. It was Bas first, and then Wouter was like a bit more hesitant. But now he is like 100% the other direction. He's a big DeSo promoter on the socials, and that was funny. And my family is behind me. Really, that is really important. My wife enables me to be able to focus on these projects, and without her, this would not be possible, because you need a partner who supports you.
Yeah, family dynasty is setting up on DeSo right now, like Carstenstein's one, who has their wife as well and their cat on DeSo, and that's awesome. My last question for you: what was the best questions that you were asked today?
Well, I liked the last questions, the last question a lot about the brothers and the family, and also I think it's very good. What motivates you? I think this is it's really important to focus on the positive, getting positive reactions. Stay away from negativity. If there is something negative happening, don't dive into it. Don't make it bigger. It's like a black hole. It absorbs all your energy, and you lose yourself into that. Focus on the positive. So the motivational questions are good, like those.
Thank you so much. And I did like the first question of Mark that he asked you is, where are you now? Because we all know that you are Dutch, and it was really nice to know that you are in Spain now.
Yeah, I feel more Spanish lately than Dutch, I must say. I feel I have more in common with them lately. Not there's bad things about Dutch. I have really awesome family in the Netherlands, and yeah, when I go to the Netherlands, I have really great friends. But the funny thing is, I always had more friends which were not 100% Dutch, which would have like from Curacao or Suriname. My best friend is not 100% Dutch, like white or something. My wife is from Ecuador. Not sure. I always had more friends not 100% Dutch, so maybe that's why I ended up in Spain also. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering all my questions, and thank you for honesty and openness to do it. Mark, thank you for setting the right environment and atmosphere for today's podcasts. I'm down. Mark, it's your time.
Beautiful.
Thanks Alex.
Well, there you go, Martin. I think we have taken a deep dive. We have discovered as much as we can about the Van Halen family and what you're getting up to yourself. And I'm looking forward to hopefully we can twist your brother's arms and get them on one by one, and we can unravel your family secrets in the blockchain.
You should.
It's good fun.
That's great.
It's good fun. And, Martin, I think when you say about, living in Spain and the way, how you relate to, being more Spanish than Dutch as such, in that sense of, I think it's one of those things we see again in blockchain, people coming into these worlds where we're kind of letting go of that identity of the country, right? It's like, we want the openness of like, let's recreate, let's rewrite this story. And that's what I love. Every person that I meet working on this kind of work seems to share that interest of rewriting the story. So thank you for everything you've done to help rewrite the story already. For so many creatives, all the NFT artists out there, I hope you go check out Nftz. Make sure you're following Martin and his brothers on DeSo, whether it be BitClout, Diamond App, whatever your choice is. And Martin, any last closing words for the listeners before we jump?
Thanks for hosting me. You guys doing an awesome job. It's really a professional series, this podcast, and keep on doing what you're doing. It's really needed, and love what you're doing. And if we can help, let us know.
Fantastic.
Maybe some NFT series, invite some creators, a smaller subsets. You could put them on NFTz maybe. Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to chat. I like the sounds. Alex, I hope you're taking notes. All right, fantastic, Martin. Absolutely. Let's see, because I think collaboration is key, right? It's in the end, so many of the finished products that we use down the track, like Facebook's ecosystem, for example, used to be a whole bunch of different projects and companies and things, right? And then slowly goes, that will work here. That will work here. And where we can all start working together rather than competing. Like you say, focusing on the positive. How can we motivate together, and each other? So absolutely, Martin, we'll stay in touch. Anything, and likewise, anything you need from us here at Clout Forum, you want to do any announcements, bring people, whatever you want to do, get in touch and let's explore it. So thanks again, Martin. Really appreciate it. Alex, you're a superstar. And everyone listening, thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe to Clout Forum here on YouTube or the podcast app you're listening to. And leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know the questions. If there was something else you'd like to have asked Martin. And, maybe we can get him to join in the comments, or we can find the answers for you. But let's keep the conversation going. Please do share this with any of your NFT friends, people out there that are interested in what we're creating here. And let's kick this creator economy in the ass and get it moving. Let's get some fire in our bellies and have some fun doing it.
Octane.
Octane. All right. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.